Hello everyone. As a part of NCERT Geography series, we are going to discuss 7th class Geography, our environment. In this video, we are going to discuss first chapter, environment. So before going into what is environment, that is definition of environment, we will see how this word environment came into being. Environment is a French word. Originally, it is environner. That means neighborhood. What is environment? Environment, whatever we observe in our surroundings, is environment. What it is? Place, people, things, and nature. All these surround a living organism. So whatever these things which surround living organisms is known as environment. Environment supports basic life. That means it provides air we breathe. It provides water we drink. It provides food we eat. It provides land where we live. Environment is a combination of natural and human-made phenomena. So what is natural environment? In natural environment, biotic and abiotic conditions exist on the earth. Biotic conditions. It deals with the world of living organisms. For example, plants and animals. Abiotic conditions. It deals with non-living. That means world of non-living elements. For example, land. Now, we are going to discuss natural environment in detail. Here, look at this one. Land, air, water, and biosphere. All these are part of natural environment. Now, take up land, that is lithosphere. Domain of land is lithosphere. Lithosphere is a solid crust or hard top layer of the earth. That means lithosphere is a solid crust. It is made up of rocks, minerals, and also this lithosphere is covered by a thin layer of soil. And it is an irregular surface with various landforms. That means mountains, plateau, plain, and valley. All these are various landforms on the continent. And you could even find these kind of landforms on the ocean surface as well. Domain of water is hydrosphere. And it comprises of various sources of water and also water bodies like oceans, lakes, rivers, seas. And this hydrosphere, that means this water is very much essential for living organisms. Now, we are going to take up air, that is atmosphere. Atmosphere is a thin layer of air surrounding the earth. This atmosphere consists of number of gases, dust, and water vapor. This earth has got a gravitational force. This gravitational force holds this atmosphere around the earth. This protects us from scorching heat of the sun and also harmful rays of the sun. Atmosphere, generally, it is a balanced one. But sometimes, whenever there is a change in the atmosphere, that leads to the change in the weather and climate. Now, we are going to take up biosphere. Biosphere, that is living things. It is a narrow margin where land, air, water interact with each other. This is a sphere where a life exists. Okay, this is all about natural environment. And suppose if we take the broader picture, that is ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? It is a system formed by the living organisms. So what these living organisms? Suppose take the example of community or family or any plants and animals. They interact with each other in this system. And also these living organisms interact with the immediate neighborhood, that is immediate environment. That means here, what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is the one where interaction between living organisms and also these living organisms interact with the immediate surrounding, that is environment. They interact with the physical and chemical factors of the environment. What are physical factors? Temperature, rainwater, all these things. And chemical factors, oxygen, pH, nutrients, all these are part of chemical factors. So what they do? They link with the transfer of material and also energy. This is our ecosystem. There are different types of ecosystems on the earth. What are those different types of ecosystems? For example, desert ecosystem, rainforest ecosystem, pond ecosystem, ocean ecosystem, river ecosystem, mountain ecosystem. For example, take the pond. In pond, there are living organisms interact with each other, and also for their needs, they depend on the immediate surrounding. That means within the pond. So entire pond itself is an ecosystem. Suppose take the example of desert and rainforest. These two are two different ecosystems where vegetation is different, plants, animals are different in both this desert and rainforest. Rainforest, we could see humid conditions. Desert ecosystem is an arid ecosystem, rainfall is less, and vegetation is totally different, and animals are also different. They depend on for their needs in the desert, that kind of arid ecosystem. And here in rainforest ecosystem, conditions are humid and vegetation is totally different from desert ecosystem. This is all about the ecosystem. Now we are going to take up human environment. What it indicates, how human beings are changing this environment, and this changing occurs depending upon his needs, human being needs. So these needs are growing day by day, and as these needs grow, the modification of environment generally occurs. And sometimes, depending upon needs, there might be a destruction of environment, destruction of nature. If you look at the early man, he led a settled and simple life, and he fulfilled his requirements by depending upon his immediate surroundings. As his needs were growing, he started finding new ways to change the environment, and he started growing crops, and he started domesticating animals, and he even led a settled life, and he started producing surplus food, and he found a barter system. What is barter system? Barter system is nothing but exchange of goods without using money. Inventing a wheel in this process, and he made a pot in which he could store food and also store water, and also he could use that pot for cooking. And after industrial revolution, he started producing surplus, and that led to the change in the environment and also destruction of environment. And he came up with communications and transport system. So after all these things, we could understand that there must be a perfect balance between human and natural environment. That would definitely lead to the harmonious balance. Okay, that would definitely lead to the sustainable development. So when we talk about sustainable development, we generally tend to remember the 5th June as the World Environment Day. So why do we celebrate World Environment Day on 5th June? Why is it so? Because on 5th June 1972, United Nations Conference on Human Environment began. So that was the first conference on environment. So to mark that conference, to commemorate, so United Nations decided to celebrate 5th June as World Environment Day to mark this conference, United Nations Conference on Human Environment. This is all about the first chapter, environment. Thank you so much.